So what's going on, everyone? I appreciate you guys watching this video. Right now we are going to be getting into the beehive because the other day I did an inspection and I could not find the queen. This was actually the second time I couldn't find the queen, and there was some things in there that I saw and I didn't see that made me real concerned. For one, our numbers are really low. We're about a month into this hive and there was very little bees. One thing I noticed is a lot of drone cells. I will break it in there and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And when I combine those two things, finding no queen and a lot of drone cells, I'm thinking for one, the queen is gone. And two, I either have a worker bee laying eggs or a drone queen. Both of those mean the hive is doomed. And if I don't do something quick, meaning bringing a queen in, there's no chance for this hive to survive. So I'm just gonna double check, make sure there's no queen, and you know, I'm probably gonna order one online because I called where we got the bees and he never got back to me, so I'm kind of disappointed on that. But let's get in here and check this out. The other thing, I mean, look, there is no movement in here. And today was a beautiful day, probably high 60s, and you know, all the things that we were doing today, I kept looking over here and there was no movement whatsoever. So I mean, it could be completely empty right now. If that's the case, we're gonna have to really think about, you know, if we're gonna continue with bees. There is a guy down the road that is selling some bees right now. He probably has over 50 hives and he has a sign out. So that's really tempting to go do. However, I don't know, I'm really gonna have to think about it to see if we're gonna go another route for our honey. You know, maybe support someone local that has it down, and maybe revisit this in a year or two when do a little bit more research. But I am disappointed, but it's not over yet. It's not over, so let's get in here and see what's going on. So I still got bees, which is a really good sign. So I can't even give you guys an example of a worker cell because on this frame, it's all drone. See those? I mean, they're huge. They're real raised up and they're big. Those are all drone cells. If this was a worker cell, you would have your comb like this. It's empty. This is the wax. This is the frame itself. Then you have this comb, or the cell, I mean. If this was a worker, it would be flat. However, see how it's raised up? That's drone, because that's big, because drones are big. They're a lot bigger than worker bees. So, and that's all I see. So I definitely have a worker bee laying or a drone queen, because I have not been able to find the queen once again. The other thing I can't find is a queen cell. Those would be really long. Like it would actually be drooping off of the frame itself, because queens are probably twice the size, maybe even bigger than drones. I am pretty disappointed because, as I showed you, there's only drone cells in there. Found no queen once again, so I just let it die. Get a queen or get a new swarm. There are workers in there. There's probably only a few hundred bees. When you first get bees, you get 3 pounds, and I believe if I remember correctly, 3 pounds is about 10,000 bees. This is not even close to that. So something is going on. One thing I do know, it's not good. So I've been talking with Blake from Daddy Curb's farm regarding my bee issue. And if you guys are interested in bees and learning more about bees, I would definitely check out his channel. He has some really cool stuff going on. He's got obviously a garden, he's got bees, you know, real good information there. So please go check him out. I've been talking with him, and I'm thinking about getting a new queen, and putting a queen in there. So I'm actually gonna jump online and order that queen and actually have overnight shipping. So I gotta get on that right now because that hive is collapsing. I am not one to just give up on something. I know there always comes a point where you know maybe rethinking a plan, but the year just started. I mean, it's April. It's the end of April, and it's already collapsed. And I don't want another year to go by, and I want to try everything I can to get some honey from our own farm. So I'm gonna get online, order a queen, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated on it. I'm hoping to get it overnight shipping. So I mean, if not tomorrow, I mean it's pretty late right now. If not tomorrow, I'll get it the next day, and I will let you guys know, and I'll show you when I introduce the new queen. So I'm gonna actually end this video because I'm gonna go inside and order that queen. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Leave some comments if you even have suggestions for me. You know, if there's beekeepers that are watching me, like drop some information, drop some knowledge. I'm getting a queen. I'm gonna order it. Again, we have Russian hybrids this year, so I'm gonna get a Russian hybrid queen. So leave some comments, okay? So you know, maybe if I'm missing something, I can correct it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys around.
Hit that subscribe button.